stream, and I'll also turn on camera. I hope the lighting today is better than yesterday. Nope, it's still a little shadow. Okay, that's fine. Hey guys. Okay, sweet. Any questions before we jump into session 1?
Hello.
Hey.
I'm also here.
Okay. If no questions, let's just go ahead and get right into it. Let's make sure you guys are on the right sheet. Okay. We begin in an expanse of darkness, stretching beyond any horizon, sitting heavy in silence. Great titanic stars full of heat and light are reduced to mere scattered specks within this void. But suddenly, the silence and the darkness are broken by the low hum of an engine. From the edge of sight, white sheets of Cerro steel, scratches littering across its paint coat, pull through, lit by the distant stars. Within the hull, its cargo remains unaware of the void beyond, trapped within their own darkness. Air hisses as life-sustaining gases escape from around you, a translucent panel of blue glass raising above you. As you take in your breath, you feel your muscles ache in soreness, your arms reaching out to pull your body up, almost on instinct. Dark, gray-blue metal walls enclose a minuscule space that you find yourself in. And as the grogginess of cryosleep still lingers, you begin to remember where you are, what predicament you found yourself in. You are a prisoner to be. Not one officially yet, but for now, you're aboard the transport ship, the Odo Benis. You've been forced to rest in a cryogenic pod while the ship makes its slow haul over to the far end of the galaxy. Intended destination? Void's End Penitentiary. The brutal structure of concrete and steel that rises from the distant planet of Blackpost. But your prison is still some ways away, so you've been permitted a half hour to stretch your body's regular reprieve during this desolate journey across space. And as we turn to our prisoners, who would like to introduce themselves and their characters first?
I can go first. So in one of these cells, kind of with their 30 minutes, she's taking the time to just get some stretching in, and then she's spending the rest of it exercising her body. Is about a 5'4", very like semi-muscular but healthy build human woman with like, Alice, this is going to sound so funny, I'm sorry, but she has ginger hair and then a white streak in her bangs.
There's thousands of us everywhere. It makes
I know. Yeah. I like looked over when I started the description. I was like, oh, well. But yeah, she keeps it kind of like tied into like a really messy bun, and she kind of has like the head bangs and like a little framing streaks here. She's probably got the jumper, the prison jumper that she has on. The top part of it is just let loose behind her. She doesn't really mind it, but she has kind of just, a white undershirt that goes up to like neck area, but doesn't have any sleeves on it. Um, if she is not permitted her gloves she normally wears, she has a left hand that's strictly mechanical. And the other main notable thing about her is that both of her arms are just scattered with like patchwork style, like sailor tattoos. Like differing styles and coloring to it, to kind of imply that this probably wasn't all done by the same person and they were done over a very long period of time. And do not know if I had mentioned her name yet, but this is, if asked her name, she would just introduce herself as Val.
Hell yeah. And as you kind of wake up, you're going through the exercises. Is there anything that kind of Val does? Anything about that routine that stands out? Or is it just the usual?
I think the main thing that might stand out is at one point where she's kind of taking a breather. She's standing like at the edge of her cell and she's just looking for like the biggest, toughest person that is also like out on their little walking break, and she's just staring them down, threatening them to like, no, without saying anything, just trying to be like, yeah, try me, I can take you.
Okay. The way these cells are laid out, you kind of realize, like, throughout your journey, Val has not been able to see that many of the other prisoners. It's usually like, it's almost like sets of 3. You'll see in a bit. But it's almost like you have somebody you're facing across, and then kind of between the 2 people across, there's like another person. So it's kind of these like pods of 3, and it's very hard to see across the hallway. But as you're squaring up against your neighbor, I'll ask who'd like to describe their character next.
I can go next.
Okay. And I'll call out, Alice, that Val is mean mugging you in this scenario, as you are the cell across.
Okay, perfect. While Merritt is doing the same thing she does every time they're let out of the cryo sleep, she is sitting in the dead center of her room, staring straight forward, most likely staring directly at Val, and just not moving. She has her hands like tucked in front of her very calmly. And if you were to listen very closely, you could hear she's just humming under her breath to herself. But you see a human woman, about 5'6", if she were to stand up fully. She has a warm brown skin tone and cornflower blue hair that is cut kind of short and jagged, and she has 2 long braids that hang down on either side of her face. She has 2 almost like 2 very dark red horns that jut out of the top of her head, giving her about like 4 more inches of height. She has a bridge piercing, a septum ring, and otherwise is dressed in the same prison jumper everyone else has. She has not modified it in any way. It's fully buttoned up. She's just existing in this cell.
Oh, yeah? And is there anything that stands out about her kind of time here in the cell, her actions, or is it just that standing and looking straight ahead?
Occasionally she'll kind of dart her eyes towards any control panel she can see in the walls, like in the hallway or anything. But other than that, she's just not moving.
Okay. And yeah, maybe there is something you noticed. But for now, as you stare straight ahead, the little bit of movement you see is from one of the other pods that you see directly ahead of you begins to open. As we move on, would anyone else like to describe their character?
I'll go.
Hell yeah.
Hey. difficulty right now. I'm so sorry. So Fallon Salnova is a and she's on the leaner side, but still relatively strong. Like she can hold her own, you know, she can lug metal. She's got pretty long, messy black hair, olive toned skin, green.
Marie might have cut off there for a sec.
Oh no.
No.
It's my headphones hate everything, and as soon as my headphones disconnect, my microphone disconnects, and it's just
No worries.
she's having a moment today. How much of that did y'all get?
Got the hair, I think the eyes, the skin, right? I think those are the details.
The last thing I heard was
It's
the
happening
eyes.
again.
Yeah.
Sorry. Do you make any sudden move? Huh? Maybe. I think it's fine.
Okay. It seems to be coming through now, yeah.
Okay. How much of that did y'all get?
Okay, so I think we just got some of the descriptors, but you're free to take it from the top if you'd like.
I'll take it from the top. All right. Fallon Salnova is standing at her full height, 5'11", 6 foot. Very tall, very lean, but still muscular, like still strong enough to lug metal. She's got real long, messy black hair. It's sort of cut unevenly at parts. And so you can kind of tell that she did it herself several times. Olive skin, green eyes. Nothing about her is very out of the ordinary. Like, she's a very normal human woman. Just a little tall, but an average human woman. She, in this moment, is very fascinated by the science behind what's happening here. And is very interested in investigating everything, and so she'll, I imagine, try to find ways to climb all around her enclosure and look for wires and paneling that seems out of place and anything interesting that might be of note.
Yeah, there is unfortunately not a lot in your cells. One note, as all of you're kind of doing each of you are taking different actions in this moment, but the thing that stands out as, value or kind of trying to make space to exercise Val, and you turn around to the cryopod and begin, just plugging away at the technology. The space you've been given is a 5x5. Truly a incredibly small amount of space, and only allotted due to minimal regulations for what the transport ship has to give you guys. But it is like you get out of the pod and you're just standing there. But some of you are making it work. But for now, Fallon, you're kind of tinkering around. Technically, you have been giving warnings. You've already accidentally, maybe, or purposefully, busted up one of the other cryogenic pods here in the prison ship, and that's what kind of got you moved to your current cell. And you were informed that would be adding at least a year or two to your sentence for the property damages.
Ouch.
But, as you're plugging along, tinkering here, a few other sounds of, not quite wires, but some sort of mechanical implants whirring themselves up. as we'll turn to our last character who sits in a cell beside yours, Fallon. Elsa, would you like to describe your character?
Yes, I would. All right. So her name is Saskia Helix. She's tall, around 5'9", maybe, with the solid build. Someone who's used to physical work rather than combat training, maybe. Not too bulky, but she's sturdy. Her brown hair has been cut into a choppy bob that looks like it was either done cheaply or impulsively with a multi-tool in a bad mood. But what stands out most are her eyes. They're amber gold. They're not threatening. They're not angry. They're just exhausted. There are dark circles under them, like she hasn't slept properly in years. And every few seconds, her attention seems to flicker somewhere else for half a second, like she's dismissing notifications that only she can see.
Oh, yeah. And as each of you awakens, sort of begins your... You can think of them as morning rituals, but there's no real sun that's basking you in any light or warmth out here in the void. All the lights are artificial or rendered from the low-intensity plasma ahead of you, forming your jail cells. But as you are in your spaces, I real quick will ask, who here has the ability to cast spells? It doesn't have to be through, old school magic, but just has the ability to do so.
Merritt does.
Okay.
Sorry, could you repeat that?
Yes, who has the ability to cast spells, whether it's through technology or through old school arcana?
Saskia does.
Okay. So, and I believe that means Val and Fallon do not.
I don't know if it's technically magic. I don't think it is.
I think I know what you might be thinking of, and I believe it's no. We'll say for this purpose, no, yeah.
Perfect, okay.
So the thing I will note then is that Merritt and Saskia have specific differences in the prison wear that they have. Specifically, a set of manacles that are not binded by a physical chain, but instead a pure energy cord, in a way, a bit of magnetism involved, but specifically does have Magitech symbols on the insides. These are the anti-magic restraints that spellcasters have been fitted with. And as the mandated safety exercise that they had to go through, the guards explained that if you cast magic while wearing these restraints, that will be dealing damage to yourself. And so for your own safety, you are asked, but told not to cast spells. Just something to keep in mind. But yeah, as you all are in your cells, anything else that you're doing or saying as you see other people waking up as well? And I think the only thing of note I'll add is that Merritt and Val, there's technically a third cell near you guys. There's a prisoner whose cryogenic pod has opened, but you now start to hear snores, and they have just decided to stay asleep. But normal asleep, not cryogenically asleep. Fallon and Saskia, your third cell is empty for the time being.
Yeah, if I have those bracers cuffs, she would probably be very interested in those. Probably every time she wakes up, she's looking at them, trying to see if there is any way she can get out of them.
Yeah, kind of tinkering around. They look pretty set for now. Unfortunately, it looks like there's maybe some sort of external passcode or some sort of signal that's keeping them activated. It's not like a lock and key. That part you can tell. It's like, there's some sort of electrical signal that has to go off to open them, or deactivate is a better way of phrasing it. You're kind of just fiddling around. I know you mentioned you were keeping a eye out in the area around you. You said you were looking for anything that's like technology related, correct?
Yes.
You know what? Let's go ahead and make our first check of the game. Would you like to make? I think even though it's technology, it's more about what you're looking for, right? Like you're trying to find signs of stuff. So,
Mhm.
can do technology. Might be a little higher DC, but we can also go with like a just perception check, just merit kind of looking and trying to find stuff that might warrant further attention.
All right. I'm gonna do technology.
Mhm.
I think. Wait. Yes, because it is a better score.
Yeah, no worries.
All right. And
And as you roll for that, I'm gonna go ahead and move the crew over to a view of the Otobenus. Okay. And that is a 10. On a 10, you kind of pick up on some of the different items, the cryogenic pod. You've gotten relatively familiar with that. But there's a clank of metal from down the hall. I think that's what perks Merrick's interest, because there's something that you have been keeping an eye on that occasionally passes through here. And while it might not be as intriguing to the rest of the unfortunate cargo and prisoners here, to you, Merritt, this tickles that interest in the technology, specifically the constructed technology.
all right. Very interested then.
You see, stepping through the hall, a heavy set frame as a tall, powerful construct makes its way through. And you can see instead of a like head, it is a set of different scanners that are almost reading out like different sensory input. A light that kind of like holds and is like also a secondary like maybe optical lens, and massive like tall strong frame. It's kind of humanoid in shape. You can see it's no attempt to make it look like a person. It is a frame meant for simple and effective purpose. And when you see the different like pistons and gears, you get the idea that purpose is probably not a friendly one or comforting one. As you see the immediate warden that is meant to keep an eye on all the prisoners here in the hall. And I'll say on a DC 10, you recognize this as the model M764, a military tech construct that oftentimes is referred to as the crab claw. And as you make note, you see that massive like kind of claw hand, which is just a set of like almost like meant to just hold on, like clasps. But yeah, you look down at your antimatter restraints and you look at that thing where as it closes, you've read in some of the technological like kind of manuals and like readings, the force that exerts is meant to crush bones.
Yes.
Yeah, you see, it's just patrolling, walking through the halls.
All right. Does it do that often
Yeah,
when we're let out?
Yeah, you've been picking up that this, because it's a programmed construct, it doesn't have the same, like, you know, it doesn't have a advanced intelligence processing or emotion processing system. It is purely meant to effectively handle the immediate programming it's been given. And from what you can tell, that is walking back and forth and making sure that you all don't cause any disturbances. Plus, it tends to reduce the number of, you know, liability payments, insurance on the guards, that sort of stuff, when you can just replace them all with one kind of retrofitted military tech construct.
Does that mean that there are no actual living guards around?
I would say, as you take a look, I'll even add, if everyone wants to jump in on this, all of you can go ahead and give me either history or perception checks, like either your memory or the things you've seen.
Said history or perception checks?
Yep.
Cool. Marie is also having some issues hearing right now, so she's trying to figure that out right now.
No worries. No worries.
I feel like I'm gonna have a bad rolling day.
Yeah, I'll say as you guys are looking around, I think Merritt, you kind of like get intrigued by the construct, but Val, you know that as you're kind of like going through a set of push-ups, kind of not even needing to look up, but just hearing the familiar footsteps of the massive robot, you've seen a few folks, like people, in the halls here and there. Notably, some prisoner across from Merritt, you remember, caused some sort of ruckus somewhere else in the ship. Guards came in complaining about a broken cryopod and had to move her in across from your kind of cell block. But you know there's people here. But most of the time, it is just the Crab Claw keeping an eye on all of you. I think, Saskia, as you're kind of looking through, trying to fiddle with your restraints or whatever else is kind of on your person, seeing what's still active, you have a memory, too, of when your neighbor was kind of put in this cell. You saw at least two, like, guards, humanoid guards, in here. And the way they were talking, you assume there was other folks as well. But yeah, as you all, is there anything else you guys do as you're sitting here in your cells? And as you're going through those exercises, or kind of your rituals, I'll say, and it's a prison ship, it's pretty quiet, but you've heard a few whispers from inside the ship, but also from your time outside. I'll say, if everyone can go ahead and get their rumors ready, what we'll do is I'll have everyone just Discord me their rumors. I think some of you already did so, which is great. I'm going to go ahead and one at a time send you a set of the rumors that you hear. So it'll be by person, like each of you should get 3 rumors. And I'll let you know, which sort of character in the prison ship you've heard this about. Yes. Okay. Perfect. Thank you all for sending stuff over. I'm going to take a moment to organize these. But as I'm doing that, if there's anything else that comes to your mind as you are taking a look around the ship, things that you think would have come up during your travels, feel free to let me know. But otherwise,
I am so sorry. I'm back, I think.
hell yeah. No worries.
What I miss?
I think quick notes is you guys can now, you should be able to see on the map, let me know if you can't, your cell kind of breakdown. But you see that there is a military droid turned warden that patrols the halls. The M764, aka the Crab Claw. But there are humanoid prison wardens. They're just not here right now. They tend to be elsewhere. But you've seen them before, Fallon. They were the ones that had to drag you out of your cell when you broke the cryopod and move you here.
Gotcha.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So let me go ahead and organize these characters. I'm just going to add the person you are hearing this rumor about in parentheses. Oh, perfect. Some of you just had your character names included, so it makes it easier. Let me shoot off the first one. There you go. That is, Elsa, you should have seen your list of rumors. Marie, what do you see?
I don't see anything.
Okay, no worries. That means I'm still copying them over, but
I'm so sorry.
No, you're good. I realize now when I said it out loud. What do you see? That is comes off like a question. Okay. There we go.
Tripling it into the back.
It's like the headphones themselves are messed up.
There we go.
Sorry.
Okay, yes, that should be for you, Marie. And then next up, Alice, I'll be putting into the rumors for you. I keep having to tell myself to not accidentally send your character's own rumors to yourself. That is for Val. This is for... Fallon. And then last one is going to be coming from... Alice. Sorry, I realized I should have done this before the session. Apologies. Okay, so that is... And then that just leaves Soap. I'm going to get you a list of rumors as well.
Sorry, I stepped away for 2 seconds. You were sending this over Discord, correct?
Yeah, you should be getting it in a little moment. Just typing some of the details out and double checking.
Oh, my bad.
No, you're good.
Sorry.
That's cute. Okay. There we go. So each of you have gotten a set of rumors about some of your compatriots. No rush, but if there's anything immediately that kind of calls out to you as you're sitting here in your prison cells, you still got 25 minutes, 26 minutes ticking in your allotted recreational time. But otherwise, you know, at most you can try and peer out and hopefully catch a glimpse of space through one of the maybe ducts or vents. Yeah. As you are kind of taking in your surroundings, some of the folks here, like I've noted, you've got the warden. It's been patrolling, and at this point, it's kind of like it's like gone down the hall, and it's starting to walk back up. And it's almost like in front of you, but walking past. But when it does, there's a faint crackling, like static. And from one of the kind of back speakers, like meant for emergencies, announcements, something of that nature, there's static coming through. Not like normal. It's usually silent. But each of you hears a bit of kind of static coming through your prison cell's speaker. What do you guys do?
I'm gonna run up to my speaker and immediately try to get that sound to clear.
Okay.
Does the sound of the static like grow or wean whenever the crab claw is like closer or farther from us?
You've never heard this sort of sound coming. So it's like all of a sudden you hear a little bit of that static picking up as the crab claw is kind of walking past and ahead of you. But it's done this, route at this point, you think 1,000 times. Probably tens of thousands the way, light years you've been traveling. But no, you've never heard this sort of static from the emergency intercom. Yeah. So, Merritt, you're kind of fiddling with it. Fallon, you're looking at it, but trying to figure out, like, is the sound changing? Right? That's kind of what you're
Yeah,
going for?
I'm trying to figure out if the sound is changing at all, and I'm trying to figure out if there's any sort of visual issues as well,
Okay.
aside from the audio static, if there's anything sort of happening visually in the cell.
Okay. Val and Saskia, are you guys doing anything as you hear this static?
I think Val would do a very similar thing as Merritt and Fallon right now, but would kind of like turn over to it and then walk up to it and look at it and kind of like maybe feel around it without trying to like trigger any senses. Like, is there something going on with this mechanically? Like, why is it doing this?
Okay. Yeah. And then Saskia, are you just kind of like turning and tuning in, or joining everyone else in fiddling with their speakers or intercoms?
I think she would investigate. Like she might assume that it's broken or something.
Mm-hmm.
She'll like kind of snort and be like, "Yeah, that's gonna fail in a few days." But I think she would still investigate and see what's going on.
Okay. So kind of expecting something to be broken. As each of you take a glance, very quickly, I'll say no rolls needed because this part is straightforward enough. It's not busted up in any sort of way. There's no damage, no sparks, no smoke, nothing. Looks perfectly fine. The crackle comes through again. And then it begins to kind of like, not get louder, but almost flatten out. The static like kind of, for a moment, spikes and then flattens out. And then you hear a voice, a throat, kind of, hello. It is nice to meet you. Would you be interested in leaving your current situation? If so, you may accept this contract and the following instructions. If you accept, please acknowledge. Each of you in your cells hear that like kind of low, quiet, audible, but clearly audible to you, sound coming out of the speakers.
Do I recognize this voice at all?
Yeah, go ahead and give me a history check.
Can I do the same and see if I recognize this voice?
Yeah, you can go for it.
Ooh!
19.
Yeah, hell yeah.
What you recognize here, Mary, is not the voice, but it's what you don't recognize. This is not any of the prison guards or prison wardens, and this is definitely not even anyone you remember that put you behind bars. It wasn't a voice from like any sort of officers or any folks involved in that situation. This voice is unknown to all of you. And unfortunately, Marie, that's also on a 19 on the dice. You get the same vibe of like, this is definitely not someone that's here. And I think what you do pick up in the voice is it's such a different tone than what you've been dealing with on this prison ship. But it feels like somebody's smiling on the other side saying this, but there is a little bit of that pressure you feel in what they're saying. It comes off casual, but they mentioned leaving your situation, getting out of prison, and that is not a casual detail. So what do you all do?
Barrett is gonna press her forehead against the speaker for a second, and then say, I accept.
Okay.
I think Val would cross their arms and look at the speaker and say, I don't make deals with people I don't know the name of.
Well, I would recommend you acknowledge your agreement. Once in contract, I'd be happy to share my name, and you will receive further details and information. I am looking for a long-term partnership.
I accept.
I'm sorry.
Sorry, go for
Would
it.
we hear that as well?
You notice that does not come through you. Only Val hears that piece.
Okay.
But yeah, does Marie, or sorry, not Marie, does Fallon or Saskia acknowledge as well?
Honestly, considering who Saskia is, I think the most true to character reaction would be like an immediate deadpan no. But then after a beat, she'd consider it and be like, I'm not agreeing to anything I can't read first.
You're not agreeing to anything you can't read first?
Yeah. Like, what's the catch, basically? Like,
From your speaker, you hear, this is simply a verbal contract. No additional terms and conditions apply. You simply accept this contract, and I will help you leave your current predicament, and I will request one assistance from you within your circumstances. There are no monetary payments involved.
that catches her attention. She would kind of nod. Like, if I sign this, do I stop paying Gen 13?
Well, fortunately not, but I can help put you in front of business deals and opportunities that could alleviate your current debt.
She would sigh, like a long, shuddering sigh, and be like, fine, let's do it.
Okay. That leaves us with Fallon. Do you acknowledge?
Yeah, I think knee-jerk reaction, she's like, she thinks this is a prank. She's like, okay, hey, Jared, I get it. Look, man, this is too much.
I'd like to repeat, if you could please acknowledge your agreement. This would be a great opportunity for your future career and to avoid your current path in life.
Sure, yeah, sure. I'll humor it.
As you say I'll humor it, all of you hear like a faint beep come out of each of your intercoms. Wonderful. I am excited to be working with all of you. Now, you have 8 seconds. Please progress to the rear of the ship. Now, good luck. As the voice says luck, you see each of your plasma bars deactivate. You've got 8 seconds. Go ahead and roll initiative.
Oh god.
Oh god.
As you all...
You cut out 8 seconds to do what?
Go ahead and roll initiative, because the cell doors deactivate.
Is this a D20?
Yeah.
So you hit initiative on your character sheet?
Oh, cool.
Yeah, it adds your modifier.
Perfect. Hell yeah. So we will, like you said, you're the first to react. You start running. You are welcome to move your character token. The distance should line up. And the specific thing I'll note, the timing of when this message came through and when the cell doors open, the crab claw is facing away and walking up the ship.
Okay, perfect. 30. Okay. Sure. I'll dash too.
Okay.
Why not?
Hell yeah.
I'll run my full 60 feet.
You just start sprinting at that moment.
45.
I'm gonna say, are you you're running, but are you trying to keep low and out of the crab claws like senses?
Yes. I'm like darting like low to the ground.
Okay. Go ahead and make a. We're gonna call this a stealth check. It's a little risky, but we'll see if it notices. $20. You are
A 30?
running, but it is quiet, right? The clanking of the crab claw itself kind of drowns out the sounds of your footsteps. Okay. Merritt, you dash over anything with your bonus action or any sort of like quick, like maybe free action type stuff you're trying to do here?
If she can, her main goals right now are get to the back of the ship and remove these cuffs
Mhm.
somehow. So if she can spot any way to get rid of the cuffs with a bonus action.
But yeah, what I will say is you hit the door at the end of this hall. That is one of the sort of airlocks.
Mhm.
Go ahead. I'll say as a bonus action, you can make a technology check to see if you can try and activate, find a way to like get in and turn it on.
Okay, perfect. Nope.
You're trying to
No.
be quiet. You just like sprinted here. You're messing with a few of the stuff. It's not working.
Yeah, okay.
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 Oh yeah. You get there though. That moves us over to Saskia. You see a couple other cell doors open, and a figure just starts running down the hall quietly.
Her like head whips past, trying to like track the move, be like, "What the fuck?" And she will like peek her head out, like free action, see the claw where it's at, and then like once she's sure that it's like turned around and it's not gonna turn back. She's just gonna do the same thing. She's gonna dash.
Okay. I will say similarly, Saskia, can you go ahead and give me a stealth check as you're running through?
Okay. Oops. Sorry, this new interface, I'm not a huge fan of it.
Alright.
But it's so handy and cool.
I'm just still getting used to it.
Same.
Oh.
It was really annoying going from D&D Beyond to this, but
Stealth 16. You, for a moment, you see the crab claw, like in its step, slow. It kind of tilts ahead, finishes placing its foot down, and keeps moving up. You dash forward, and you are right behind Mary. And you see she's already kind of like fiddling with some of the control panels and the like. Yeah, what do you do is you also dash up next to her.
Okay. Yeah, I have no idea what's going on. If there's anything that she's not looking at, I'll try to like fiddle with that. Or maybe I'll look for like an exit, like, or anything like hidden, like a hidden panel, or like a button beneath like a sliding slot, that kind of thing.
I'll say, if you want, you can make a quick investigation check just to see, like, is what Meredith doing the right call? Like, you can try and see, like, is there any other alternatives, any other things you can do here?
Sure.
And I'll say this can be a free action. Like, this can be your just, like, get a lay of the land before you spend your bonus action on anything. Oh. Yeah.
Yeah.
On
And I still have the cuffs, right? So if I like cast a spell, I'll get electrocuted or something. Okay.
Yeah. Unfortunately,
Yeah.
cell doors went
Okay,
down.
so I'm not
but
gonna use the spell.
Puffs are still active. What you can tell is, I mean, there really is only two ways to open this door. You either figure out the control panel, kind of what Merritt's working on, or you just try and brute force your way through this door. Considering your current items and availability, you're like, maybe the panel could work. What I will say is, because Merritt already took an attempt, if you want, Seski, either you can try to mess with the panel, or I'll say, because you rolled pretty high on investigation, if you want to like help the next person, you can also do that as well. But that's if Saskia believes someone else is coming. You saw a few prison doors open, but you might also just want to try it yourself, see if you can open the door.
I think I'm gonna try to I'm gonna try to open it myself. Sorry, you were cutting in and out like the first option.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, you could either brute force, or you can try and hack in, or you can try and help the next person.
I think it's just gonna try to help the next person. In that case, I'll like save the health action.
Okay. Yeah, like you've done the investigation, you have an idea. You're gonna wait to see who else comes by. Okay. Speaking of, Fallon, I see you already rolled a stealth check. You're keeping low to the ground.
That was an accident.
I'll leave
I
it.
clicked
But it's a
wrong
good roll.
button.
Take it. Take it.
You can keep it if you want.
So, would I recognize the ship that we're on, like maybe the layout or like the way the ship is built?
I will say you can give me piloting, or technology. Like, have you worked with this kind of technology, or is it just your years of piloting? Have you seen something like this ship before?
Piloting or technology? Go piloting for fun.
Okay. Piloting. 14. You're not too sure about the exact model, but you're pretty sure, based off the layout, that you've gotten a gauge for. Center, hull, cargo, that kind of stuff. You assume back is maybe engine, some other, like, key systems related spaces. And the front would probably be bridge, control, that kind of stuff. Like, you think the guidance is in the front, but maybe some of the systems and engines are in the back.
So, escape pods would be towards the front.
Maybe. But ahead of you for now, or I guess behind you as you're facing the door, is the crab claw.
There's a big guy. Yeah, I'll go hang out down with Saskia and Merritt.
Okay. As you go down, is there anything you're doing while running? You're keeping low. Are you going to try and focus on opening the airlock, or are you doing anything else?
In relation to where the crab claw is, where is the airlock?
So the airlock that you guys are going to, there's two. There's one at the bottom, one at the top, and you kind of have to pass through them to get to either the back of the ship or the front of the ship.
Okay. I'm gonna head back down to Saskia and Merritt, and I'm gonna try and see if I can figure out the control panel, because I assume if it's like, you know, an embassy ship,
Mhm.
I've seen this control panel at least once before, and I might have an idea of what I'm looking at, so I'm gonna try and do that.
Yeah, very well could be. Yeah, you go ahead and you rush over. With your stealth check, you don't trigger the crab claw. You rush down, and Saskia, you were saving the sort of modified help action. So Fallon, as you get over, you see them like fiddling with the controls. Anything you guys say to each other, or do you just try and get right to work?
Merritt steps back, throws her hands up, and just like, I can't figure it out.
Where are we at? What have we tried?
I think Saskia would like give you a rundown of what they've already tried and be like, I think we might just have to force this thing open.
I can work with that.
I'll help you.
Let's go. Just gonna like wiggle my fingers in there and try and pull the door open as hard as we can.
Okay. I will say then, Fallon, you could make an athletics check at advantage because Saskia is helping you.
I don't know if I added advantage to that. I don't know how to do that.
No worries. You can roll one more time for now, and then let me see.
Oh, just kidding. I lied. Never mind.
Yeah, there should be a toggle at the top of your character sheet for advantage.
Yeah. I've never used this before. It's so interesting.
Okay. 15. You're on a prison transport ship. You guys put your hands through the gap, start pulling. and strain, and as you do so, you begin to pull the doors open. The creaking of the metal, and occasional little rust stains as you look down. It looks like they've cut a few costs in terms of maintenance, and the doors you can open. It's definitely not easy, but you both throw them open, and you kind of see it like, kind of like, I don't know if you guys have ever seen like subway doors when they do like the little half close and like go back in. Like the system kind of fails and treats your physical exertions as a open, and you just see it begins to slide the other halfway through automatically. And with that, you see the airlock is open. You can get in.
Let's go in there.
I'll go ahead and move down here. You guys might have, let's say you guys have enough leftover like speed if all three of you just want to jump into this next little like spot. And I will go ahead and reveal that as you get into the little airlock. And
Are we just gonna get
as you guys are, like squeezing in, yeah.
Oh, excuse me.
Uh,
Let me just scoot right by.
Val, what do you do as your cell doors open and you see figures just running around?
So Val is obviously going to follow them as well. But if I could see them like forcing it open with their hands, like as I get down there, as Val catches up, because I'm gonna bonus action, like cunning action dash to get up here. As Val catches up, Val's just gonna like hand on someone's side, move them out. Like she's just making her way through people without saying anything and going up to the next door and just trying to rip it open herself again.
Okay, yeah. And are you doing anything while you're running other than stealth? Anything you're keeping an eye out for? Or you're kind of, now that you see the door open, you're just like beeline?
If I can keep an eye for like any just pipes or anything loose and just like rip it off a wall just to grab something or like a tool or something somewhere, just something in my hands to help with this like prying action maybe.
Hell yeah, give me perception or investigation kind of as you're running what's happening.
Cool. Do I have, I see that. Wow.
Perception, you're looking quick, trying to find something. Now, what I'll say is this. Up to you if you want to take this, Val. You can give yourself advantage on this perception check if you take disadvantage on stealth. Like, are you leaving a little bit of a mess as you try and check things before running down to the airlock?
Yeah.
Hell yeah. Go ahead. Go ahead and roll perception one more time. Okay. And now roll the stealth check at disadvantage. Okay. So, you said something about a pipe. Now that's pretty interesting, Val, because you turn and look, and you realize there's a little bit of equipment down to the side, like just inside the hull, because somebody broke a cryopod down here, and a little bit of the maintenance tools were left lying out there. And, would you know, there is a pipe that you can see, an extra pipe that was meant for the cryogenic pod oxygenation that they didn't put in the replacement for, and you can swipe that and keep running. But of course, that does entail, with your stealth check, up ahead, you see the top, like almost half cylinder of the crab claw just turn 180 degrees, and the light on its shoulder flip back, and the optical lens kind of blinking. And you see as it does that, the legs start to move backwards as the torso begins to turn, and it's starting to move towards you. What do you do?
How far did I get in that run? Did I get up to the door or
I'll
like
say
the next door? Or?
You use cunning action, so it's bonus action. You can get all the way in, I think. Let's see. You're here. You can, like, yeah, you grab some materials. Yeah, you can get to the other side, and you still have a full action left.
Okay, so in that case, as Val grabs the pipe and then sees the optics, she just looks back to everyone. It's like, as she's coming up, she doesn't say it silently anymore. She's just like, shit, move, and goes up and just tries to pry the door open.
Okay, hell yeah. Go for athletics. Okay, you just What does it look like? Val
Expertise,
just...
baby.
Oh my
Expertise.
God, okay.
Yeah, what does it look like as Val just, gets a 24 on that check?
It is like basically she just like pipe in the other hand. She just pulls open one side of it and then like kicks the other one over, and it doesn't even do like the half stop. They just fully and she goes through.
Hell yeah. I will say, with that check, because you rolled so high, Val, what do you do about the doors behind you that are still open?
Would they auto close since it's an airlock?
Actually, great point. So you think they would auto close, but it takes a few seconds, right? Before, especially because the other door opened, you're like, oh. Because you guys kind of messed with it. It's not like you control padded in. So it's a little busted because you guys are just throwing the doors open. But I will say, on a 24, you have enough, like, juice left if you want to turn and manually close the door shut behind you as well.
Yeah, I'll do that. And as I turn around without saying anything, I just take the pipe and like kind of in a way as to give it to her. I just walk past Sasuke and just like slam it into her chest to give it to her and go and shut the doors.
Hell yeah.
Did you just say Sasuke? Are we in Naruto?
Sasuke!
Yeah.
Sorry, it's going off of how it was read. Sasuke, I'm just passing Sasuke the pipe and slamming the door shut.
Yeah. Sasuke, yeah, you pass Sasuke the pipe, slam the door shut, and I will note that as you do that, because after you is the Crab Clawed Initiative, and you saw it full starting to run. It's like torso turning 180, and then one leg at a time beginning to flip as it's like in this half backwards, then turning forwards motion. And you close the door shut, and a second later, you just hear a heavy thud and the slightest indent to the metal.
God.
Thanks.
But you guys are here. You are on the other side. But as that thud echoes down the hall that you see ahead of you, not quite sure if that means you're completely out of it yet. And so as that's happening, looking around, let's go ahead and unveil the next little spot because the timer is still ticking. You see the rear hallway of the ship. I'm actually going to go ahead and hide our little space here. As the airlock doors, you manually close them behind. You see it's a hallway. Where do you guys go?
Are we still in initiative working?
I will say it is still initiative because sounds are happening, things might be going on. Like, time is still very much of the essence.
Alright. I'm gonna look for any intercoms I can see in the hallway.
Okay. You do see intercoms. There's one at this corner. You're not quite sure about here, but if it's a similar design, you assume there's probably, like, some intercoms in the corners as well. And actually, as you step out, what is Merritt's passive perception?
Oh god, it's probably very, very low. She's got a lot on her mind, okay? My passive perception is 9.
9? Yeah, you can see the intercoms. That's not hard to find. You don't have to make a check. They're just pretty visibly out there. But what else do you do?
She's gonna beeline directly to the nearest one. I think she only gets about this far with her movement.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, she's gonna... Fine. Okay, she's gonna dash again and get to the intercom.
Okay.
And she's gonna she's gonna put her hands to either side and say, hey, mysterious voice, hey, where do we go? Hey, help, hey.
Okay. You just call out to the intercom, and I think for a moment, Merritt, you're like, this isn't gonna work. And then you
This is
hear a little,
stupid. What are we doing?
hear a little static. I would recommend trying to find the control room. Fortunately, I don't have complete visual access to what's going on in the ship. I wish you the best of luck, and I know you can do it. And then just static, and then fades back to nothing.
Merritt turns back to her new companions. Just looks just absolutely sunken. She's just like, does anyone know where the control room is?
Merritt, as you say that, you hear the sound of a door opening somewhere, and a voice going, God damn it, what's the ruckus about now? And you hear a voice, somebody down the hall on the opposite end.
I'm gonna hide around this corner.
Okay. Hell yeah. Anything with your bonus action? Because I know you got dash and you done a little bit of object interaction, but anything else?
Can I try and short circuit these cuffs and get them off me somehow?
I'll say give me a technology check. Yeah. Unfortunately, not something you can try. If it at least had like keys or some sort of access code, it would be more feasible. But this is some sort of, yeah. You got to find the almost like master signal.
Okay.
Now, what I will call out though is because you're looking at your cuffs, but you're thinking about access code stuff like that. You do see there's two doors here. Might not be fully visible, so let me just make sure. Each of them has what looks like a key, like a, I'm gonna say, it's like a key card swipe, like some sort of signal or detection, not like a punch code. It's like something you have to swipe.
Okay.
But there's two rooms with some sort of like higher access. As that happens, we'll move over to Saskia with the knowledge that the other three of you in this, like tightly cramped in this airlock, have also heard the voice down the opposite hall.
Okay. I'm gonna assume that's a guard of some sort, so I'm gonna run in the opposite direction. I'm gonna follow Merritt.
Yay!
I should get here-ish. As she's running, she's like fumbling like the tank that was unceremoniously shoved into her hands, and like, she's like, what is this? Does she know what it is?
Oh, the pipe. Yeah, you do just have a pipe in your hands, like a metal pipe.
Okay. Does Merritt look... Okay, so like, I'm gonna be real. Saskia, she's like an average build, but she's not that strong, so does like Merritt look stronger or weaker than Saskia?
Most likely weaker. She's a very, she's a 5'6", very lithe, and thin. Doesn't look toned or like she's worked out at all.
Okay, so we got two skinny girlies with a pipe.
Merritt just like holds out her cuffs, like, huh? You gonna use the pipe?
And so she looks between the pipe and like the cuffs, and it's like just shrugs, like, okay. Like, I'll try to whack the bar, I guess.
Okay.
Give him the Fallon, goddammit.
Yeah, that's what I thought was funny. Like, you threw it to Saskia's hands, and I was like, Fallon is right there. Okay, so you take the pipe and you swing at Merritt. This is going to be a strength-based attack roll, right? Because you're just swinging. It is an improvised weapon, which I believe Saskia does not have proficiency with.
No. So she just swing it.
Yeah, just swinging it's just a strength check, effectively.
Okay, do that on this thing?
You should. I think you can hit where it says like.
I'll try.
Yeah.
I think. Oh.
Oh no!
Wow.
Oh wow.
Oh wow. It doesn't show red. I would have liked it in red. You swing the pipe. You see it hits the you see like that little electrical like magnetic cord or like really like a connection between the two gauntlet pieces. The pipe hits and you see the field literally twists the pipe in real time, and like when you smack the pipe you see it bend, and as you pull it up you now realize the pipe has been bent and kind of twisted in a way where it is not really usable as a weapon, and also has made a very odd kind of like clanging sound through the hull.
Saskia, very disappointed with this outcome, but she's gonna try to salvage it. She'll be like, it's okay, we just need more people. And then she'll like, she won't whistle because that'll alert others to her location, but she'll kind of like peek her head around the corner and like make a frantic like come hither motion to Val and Fallon in the back.
Okay. So anything bonus action, Saskia, before you move along?
All my bonus actions are spells, and like I'm level 3. I don't want to get electrocuted.
Very fair. And so as that's happening, Val and Fallon, you very hear the clang of the pipe being twisted. What do you want to do, Fallon? As you also have heard, there's a guard on the other side, but your two fellow prisoners are doing something over on the other side. Which way do you go? Oh, and sorry, real quick, the thing I should have noted. So sorry, I just realized that I hadn't unveiled. Make it clear. There are doors ahead of you guys, but you would see access panels as well. So that it'd be fair that you guys tried to find the other halls. So sorry. Let me reveal. But yes, Fallon, what do you want to do?
Fallon, right now, I'm focused on the control center. I want to get to the control room ASAP, so I'm going to peek around the corner, give a little salute to Saskia and Merritt, and then try and see if I can find anything on the walls that sort of indicates the direction of a control room.
Okay. I would say you can try and give me investigation or insight. Is it like, I'll say investigation is like your understanding of like maybe like, it's not technology, but it's like design, right? Like how have people handled like, you know, ship orientation that way, or like signs. Insight could be more based off like people details. Is there some clue about how things are kind of, how people are functioning where they are?
Ooh.
Okay. I think the thing you get on a 9 is just, well, one side is just the two prisoners making sounds and rackets. But the other side, there was a prison guard. So maybe there's something useful or important on that side. That's about as much as you get on a 9.
Can I, like, go towards, like, the down kind of the green line hallway and just try and peek around and see if that guy is still out in the hallway?
Okay, give me a stealth check. We'll say this isn't an action, but it's just like as part of moving through the hall, you're just trying to like, it's how carefully are you peeking around. That would be your 30 feet of movement. You peek down, and there is a dude just like fumbling with a bit of their armor. And you can see it's like some sort of, not quite human, just another one of the kind of verse like species. He's like putting on one of his like prison helmets and like fussing with some of the stuff, and then like as you duck your head and out, he's like, what? Wait, what the hell? Was that someone there? And you hear the sound of like a current turning on, like some sort of weapon being activated. Okay,
Me.
that is your movement. Anything you want to do with your action and bonus action?
How far is that door from me?
Oh, where the guard is?
Yeah.
The guard is about like 15-ish feet around the corner.
You're not.
Oh.
Oh, sorry. Did you say something?
Can you hear? Oh God.
Yeah, I can hear you now. Yeah, I think it was just that piece cut out.
She's still having problems hearing right now.
No worries.
I'm still in PM.
No, you're good. But yeah, what is there anything you're trying to do knowing that distance?
I'm trying to get into the room behind him.
Okay. Now,
So
it is a guard with a weapon. I just want to make that clear. You did hear a weapon turn on.
It is a guarded door. I don't have any special bracelets on, do I? I don't have any like special things on me. Okay, cool. I'm gonna run up as quickly as I possibly can, and then the second that I get close enough, I'm gonna telestep into the room behind him.
What is the range of telestep?
It is 10 feet.
Ooh. Yeah, you're gonna have to run. Okay, so you run around the corner, and he just straight up goes, "Holy shit, prisoner!" And you vanish. I'm gonna say, up
Cool.
to you. Do you want to make a deception check for where he thinks you teleported to? Like, do you? Because right now it's like beeline, and there's a clear line of sight of like what direction were you heading in? Do you try and throw him off before you tell
And
us?
there's like two different walls there, so you could pretend like you're going into the other room too.
True. I'll try that. I'm gonna try.
Okay. Go ahead and roll a deception check as you try and like kind of think you're going into the other room. Okay. Okay.
Oh my god, 2 zeros in 1 second.
2 zeros is crazy. Okay, so Fallon, you run. Okay. Here, let's see how it would be. It would be like you run here. You like look backwards, but your body's still facing forward, and then you teleport like another 10 feet, so 20 feet, into the next room. So by the way, you've telestepped, but you still have 20 feet of movement left. I assume this is the dash action that you are taking. And as you dash into this room, it is not the control room.
God damn it.
There's a gun! Get the gun!
Take the gun and kill the guard.
Yeah,
Kill the guard. Kill the guard. Murder.
Yeah, you do see something on the, you see something on the countertop. Do you reach for it, Marie? Oh, sorry, Fallon.
You reach for it.
Hell yeah.
Okay. You grab, and unfortunately, this phaser was in a bit of maintenance and is not fully assembled. Go ahead and give me a technology check if you want to try and real quick get the pieces together and turn to shoot. That door more visible. Yeah, easy enough. You immediately put some pieces together, turn, fire. Go ahead and does Fallon have let's see, what weapon proficiencies do you have?
Do I have a what?
Okay. You do I forgot. because we're in dark matter, we have to like translate some of the proficiencies over. But I will say, you have hand crossbow. That's good enough for the weapon you have in your hand. So go ahead, and it's going to be an attack roll with your dexterity modifier plus your proficiency. So it's let's see if there's anything on your character sheet that's kind of close. Oh, there's nothing for now, but go ahead and just click on the dex check, and we'll just add +2.
Oh. Just every possible technological issue today.
No worries. It should just be a dex ability check. So you can just click the modifier, and I think it should roll. Yes, perfect. And we're going to go ahead and add +2. That is going to be a dirty 20. That definitely hits, as the guard was running the other way. And you go ahead and fire. And I'm going to say, because you teleported behind the guard, we're going to give Fallon a little, I think, enough as a surprise. You can go ahead and toss sneak attack on top of what you're about to roll. This is going to be, damage-wise, 2d4 plus 2d6.
Okay, 2d6 first.
Mm-hmm.
And then...
Okay. 12 points of damage as you shoot this guard in the back, and they just go, "Ah, shit, my back, you shot me! What the hell?" And they're turning around, and they just see you suddenly behind them, and they're reaching for, I mean, they had a, it looks like a baton that's electrified, and that's kind of what they look like they're rushing towards you with.
Oh. Do I have any, like, actions or movement left?
Unfortunately, I think that was everything, yeah.
Okay, cool.
So you just, like, fire the gun, look. He's definitely fucked up. You shot him in the back. That body armor did not protect against that shot. But with that, it is your turn, Val. As chaos is definitely starting to spread. There's something going on one side. You saw the other prisoner run over, and you heard a gunshot, Val. You're like, okay, that's like a... I mean, in this, it's not a kinetic gun, but it was a gun. You definitely heard that, like, fire of a beam. What do you want to do?
Did I hear like the masculine voice saying, "Ah, shit, you shot me," or did I like hear any? Did I hear that reaction to?
Yes. Yeah. You
confer that it was the guard.
Yeah. You definitely heard that guard is not being quiet about that.
Okay. I'm looking back over at Sasuke and then darting in the direction of that guard. I have a plan. I promise. Just want to see how much movement I would get if I came here, and then this is not calculating correctly, I don't think.
It's only...
Could I get behind him? Oh yeah.
I
can get there.
So yeah, it's like 15 feet, or I guess 12 feet. 30 feet gets you here. Cunning action. Yeah, you can get behind with cunning action.
Cool. I'm gonna get up behind him, and I'm sorry.
I'm regretting the name at this point.
No, it's such a cool name. I love it. I'm just bad with names.
I'm just kidding.
And basically what Val's gonna do here, I think I only have one attack since we're only level 3, but let me just verify that real quick. My roll 20 might have crashed as well. Oh, my character sheet thing crashed.
Believe yes. You
have one attack. Yeah, okay.
Yes. So yeah, you have one attack. You just can also, with your cutting action, make a additional attack or grapple or shove, but I think you're using cutting action to dash it.
So hopefully I can get up behind him quietly, and then just like what I want to do is basically like kidney shot him, and then like also in the same movement, it can just be one attack, but like kidney shot, slam his head into a wall, and then like still grabbing his head, turning to look at me, and then if you would allow me, I'm gonna ask him a question with intimidation.
Yes. Go ahead and roll that attack roll. Let's see how the kidney shot goes first.
Okay. All right, and let me just verify something real quick. I think I did do this already. Hang on. Let me just check something real quick. Because with a ruffian, my unarmored strikes are a little bit different. I just want to make sure that I have that in there already for this roll.
Mm-hmm. Yep. I think it should be that you can use strength and you are proficient.
Cool. Yeah. That's perfect. Yes, that was the correct amount.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so it would just be 4 points of damage. Unless I get sneak.
Go ahead and roll to hit first.
Oh yeah, I'm sorry. I know how this works. My bad.
No, you're good. Hey, I like Val's confidence. It's going for damage already, you know? But we'll see. Okay, yeah. I mean, she does hit.
Dirty 20.
So you go ahead, you get the kidney shot, and the way your feature works, you can apply sneak attack to unarmed strikes, so you'll add 2d6 on top of the 4 damage you've already dealt. 9
You're
points.
gonna kill this guy.
9.
If this is if this is a killing blow, like I would want to make sure that this is meant to be non-lethal, so I can still ask him a question.
Yes, for sure. This is like definitely. It's like what you said. Slam into the kidney because he like got shot in the back. Turned to say, "Oh my god, you shot me in the back." You show up from the back again. Hit him in the kidney. He goes, "Oh, my kidney," and he just starts crumpling though. Like that is like a finishing shot as you slam his head against the wall, and it's Cerro steel wall. Like it immediately rings his head, and you see the eyes kind of like start to go like almost like rolling in his head as he's like getting dizzy. Definite concussion. And what do you ask in that moment?
It's kind of like in 2 parts, but it's like first of all, she's like grabbing his head. She's like, "Where's your fucking key card?" Second of all, do you have full clearance?
Okay, go ahead and give me an intimidation check. And the thing is, he's definitely intimidated no matter what. The question is he scared enough to stay awake? Like, the adrenaline pumps through? Or does he just fully eyes roll back, knockout?
Already. And just by the way, I don't know if I mentioned it to you yet, I took a exploit that lets me use strength in place of charisma on intimidation and persuasion checks.
Hell yeah.
So if it's a really crazy modifier, that is why.
No worries. I am all for crazy modifiers for rogues. Hell yes. Okay, 12. You go ahead. You hit the guard hard enough, and he kind of head is spinning, looking around and goes, "Not full clearance," and just starts to slump down.
I'm slapping his cheek. Keycard! Give!
He just slides down, but you do see a little bit of what looks like a clip on, like, as he's like crumpling down, like the shirt and armor kind of hanging up on him. You do see something clipped down by his waist. Looks like a key card.
I've already used my free action, so I guess that would be like a next round thing, but unless you'd allow it, but I don't want to push too hard for that.
I will say, because you took care of this immediate guard, there's still initiative in the sense of tracking rounds, but if you just want to take your turn, your next round's turn now, I'll allow it.
Cool. In that case, the leftover movement that I had from my dash, which I think I had 15 more, I will do that to move back over. It's doing it in square footage. I don't know why. See if I can change that on my end. Oh, it's because I don't have a speed.
Makes sense.
Nope, still doing it. Okay. Is this about 5 feet, does it say?
Oh, you're saying to get from here to here? It's like 10, yeah.
No, I was trying to get as far back over to them over here as I could with the 45.
If you right click, yeah, you can do corners.
Gotcha.
So you can get here, 45, or there is a door here as well. I will note. So there's a door here, or you can run to the rest of your group.
Let me try it with as much space as I have. So I'll come here, and I will just swipe the keycard, see if it works.
Swipe the key card, and you see a green light as the door opens. And inside, you see a cold blue glow of monitors illuminating a room, single chair kind of facing all these different lights, slow panning images of the cell block, hallways, jail cells, various other like technical displays up, like almost like signal statuses, and a person, a guard, armor and helmet familiar. As you see the chair lean back, and you like get ready and see them put their legs up on the desk, a data pad in front as they're watching the latest round of F7 Starship Racing, headphones in.
I'm taking my next turn out of initiative, or
Headphones in.
Yeah, you can.
locked in.
So yeah, just sitting there, feet up, looking down. What do you do?
Yeah, I'm gonna sneak up behind him and just chokehold. I'm grappling him. I'm putting him in a chokehold.
Okay.
And taking him down to the ground.
I'll say, are you trying to like knock unconscious damage wise? Because we can still roll attack roll, but it would be a chokehold in terms of how it's going to happen.
If I could actually,
or is there like an exploit? Because I do know there's a few like takedown exploits.
No, I don't have a takedown exploit yet.
Yeah. Yeah.
I will be looking at that at some point. I don't think I can use bonus action to grapple. I think it only allows me to dash, disengage, or hide unless I'm missing something from Ruffian.
You should be able to. I think it's on your character sheet. It is a school of hard knocks. So you can use a bonus action, granted by cunning action, to make an unarmed strike, or grapple, or shove. Any of those work.
Okay. Yeah, so I will cunning action, like, grapple, and kind of take him down to the ground, and then still, like, not, like, quite chokehold anymore, but, like, arm over his throat, and then, like, left hook just, like, into a jaw.
Okay. Yeah. Go ahead and give me an athletics check. So it's like a hold, but you're shoving him down first, right? Like that, you're shoving them down. So go ahead and give me athletics. The guard, I'm going to roll at disadvantage for their athletics.
Okay.
I get to roll my first dice. You took out my other guard so fast. Okay. Really good on the first dice, really bad on the second. Against the 22, yeah, the guard, you just pull them off the chair. The kind of semi-office chair just kind of flips to the side, falls as they're taken down. Headphones still in. They're just like suddenly looking around. They throw the data pad to one side. Go ahead and make the attack roll at advantage. I was expecting as much. Go ahead and roll for damage, and you'll be adding 4d6 for the sneak attack here.
Oh my God. I love this little shit. I love her so much. I'm gonna have so much fun with her.
Hell yes. So you rolled 5 damage here. The crit is gonna add maxed out dice, so it's +4, so you're at 9. Go ahead and roll the 4d6 as well. Let's see. So 9 plus 15, 24. What does it look like as Val takes this guard out of commission in one move?
Have you ever just like seen like a boxing match or something, and you just see someone get like punched right on the nose, and it's just an instant slump, like they're out? Not quite dead, because I don't think Val's like trying to do that to these poor guys. They're just working jobs. But it's just gets him down to the ground, pops him, and like pulls your arm back for another one. Goes, oh shit, and like taps his forehead. Oh shit, and then gets up and goes back into the hallway and says, guys, I found the control room.
Yay!
Oh yeah, as you guys are like, you kind of have this like vent pipe on your side. The cup's still there, but you can kind of just toss the pipe to the side. And do you all kind of converge in the control room now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So I'll. Yep. Sorry, go for it.
I forgot I had this little thing. I can talk to arcane terminals and ship computers.
Mhm.
Am I able to use that to communicate with my cuffs?
Yeah. Go ahead and give me a
I'm
technology
stretching
check.
that definition.
Yeah, go for it. I'll say, because it's the control panel, you can talk to the control panel about the cuffs, like maybe like try and figure out like, could this
perfect.
work? What's the code? That kind of stuff.
Yeah, I basically walk into the control room and am immediately in my own head reaching out to the computer and be like, okay, get these off of me, please, thank you.
Okay.
And that's an 11.
Um,
So good at rolling.
It is the control room, so what you're doing here is narrowing in, and you can confirm, and it's almost like in your mind, you are seeing little bits of like, it's like both a mixture of like data, like binary code running through, but also visual cues in your optics, where you can kind of see the specific controls and buttons that relate to the constraints. So you immediately like, okay, I'm in the control room, that's how I turn off the restraints.
I just walk in, like, just hit the button, seemingly through instinct alone.
And just like that, the anti-magic restraints are off of any... Well, I guess you'd have the ability in this moment, Merritt, to decide... You can see, like, who the restraints are for, so you can turn it off specifically for you and Saskia as well.
I do that, yes.
Okay, so you two lose the restraints. You are now also seeing the visual feed, so you can see the prisoners, but you can note some of them are kind of looking in their little units as the crab claw is kind of standing here and is now backed away and seems to be doing some sort of calculations. I will say, you guys can roll insight checks as you see the crab claw kind of standing there in the hallway. I think so far seems like merit for you. I think part of that control panel, like info and stuff that you're pulling, you recognize what's happening here. The Crab Claw, the M764, is originally a military tech droid. They seem to have put in some controls and overrides on its maximum violence settings in order to reduce the chances of property damage in apprehension. So it has effectively run the calculation that if it breaks through the airlock, that is more in damages than your lives are currently worth. So it's waiting for you all to come outside.
Okay, perfect.
Mhm.
Can I send a quick, like, stand down, everything's A-okay?
You... Go ahead and give me an intelligence saving throw.
Intelligence saving throw. A dirty 20.
You are hit with a wave of feedback that is, for a moment, almost overriding your brain, because it is such clear-cut programming and protocols. This is not a thinking machine to that extent. It is meant for violence. And the control panel is not what turns off the crab claw.
Yeah, I know. I guess I wasn't thinking of using the control panel to do that.
Like, you're trying to override the signal of, like, it's good. You realize there might not be a lot of people here with the clearance to do that.
Well, shit.
Once it's in that heightened state. So you guys are just like, oh shit. But you are able to turn off the restraints. Fallon, you are also in the... I will also say, because you're the only other person who's gotten into a room, you picked up a gun, which was definitely a good call. But you also, I'll say in a quick glance around the rest of the room, without making a check, the immediate thing you notice is that this is... Where'd it go? This is the crew quarters. This is like where people will like sleep and rest because they are probably working on rotation. So if you want to make a check for anything here of use, you can. Otherwise, you can head over. You definitely got.
I think I'm gonna.
Mhm.
Sorry.
No, I was just gonna say you definitely got the gun. That part was valuable and you found it. But if there's anything else that might catch your attention,
I might just take a quick scan and see if anything seems important here.
yeah, go ahead. It can be perception or investigation, whatever you prefer, as you take a look around. On a 10, you do find one of the kind of like, as you're going through where you picked up the phaser from, you go through, one of them is a first aid sort of desk cabinet for emergencies. Thankfully, it hasn't needed to be used, and it lasts a while, so no worries about anything going wrong, kind of like with the rest of the ship. This is a healer's kit. That's kind of what this translates to. So you are able to grab one of those.
I'll grab one of them. And then I'll start heading towards the control room, and I'm gonna pick up that prison guard's little electro scepter on the way over there.
Hell yeah. So right now, Fallon, I will make note that, or you can add this just under items. I can give you stats later, but you currently have, dark matter weapons. You have a phaser, Phaser, a phaser, and you have an arc baton. ARC, and then baton. So you've got a gun, and an electric stick. As you make your way over. Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna ask you to help me figure out how to put that in here once we're wrapped up today, because I do not know how. But yeah, once we get in there, I do want to give the arc Merritt, is she the only one without a weapon at this point?
I am a weapon.
Okay, Merritt is a weapon.
I have
just, like,
a
hold it out.
metal pipe, but
Yeah,
I have spells now, so I'm good.
Oh, okay. Can I offer it to Val?
Val's just gonna look at you and go, like, hold up their hands.
All right. I'm gonna just kind of holster the gun and I guess hold this fun little electro scepter in my hand.
Hell yes. Okay. I've added preliminary versions to your character sheet. I will update them later so that they become like automated attack rolls. But for now, you got a little electric baton and a little gun. Something to do with it. But hell yeah. As you pick those items up, you guys get into the control room. You're looking around, you see all the signals, you've turned off the anti-magic restraints. Is there anything else you're trying to find in the control room in specific? Like, there's a few details you caught, but anything you're keeping an eye out for or looking for in specific?
I think anything that looks like, I don't know, like a communication device, like a telecom, so we could communicate to whoever liberated us, maybe get instructions on where the extract point is.
Yes, there is a comms device. Man, it's making a lot of noise, so I'm trying to turn it away. Okay, there is a kind of a comm station within the control panel. You expect there's probably one in the bridge too. As you look at it, you're like, okay, can we communicate? You see it, a light blink on, like there's an incoming message.
Accept message.
As you make your way into the control room, turning on the message, you see it kind of crackles for a second and goes, "Wonderful. It's great that you've all made it this far. As you review the systems, I'm here to inform you of the component of your task that I would require of you today. In exchange for helping free you from this circumstance, I would like to ask that you ensure that prisoner 1212 from cell 13 is released as well. I would ask that all of you, together, please head to the escape pods in the front of the ship. And before you do so, please go ahead and insert the control access key card and press the following, and kind of lists a set of like commands and keys for you all to input. You've done great so far, but you're almost at the finish line. Make sure to pull through. Again, I look forward to working with you." And the voice kind of peters out again.
Can I glance at cell 13 to get like a glimpse of who's inside, or like the cameras?
Yeah, you head over to the kind of old school, not the most well-maintained cameras. Very CCTV-esque in terms of like how it's like panning over. Cell 13, and you kind of stop at cell 13. Huh. Cell 13 is a somewhat different individual than you guys are used to. Because the entity there, it's not like many of the other species in the verse, people that you're used to seeing. This is a hulking figure, kind of covered in chitin, and the prison, like, kind of blue-gray, like, prison jumpsuits they've given and, like, kind of wear. It is almost just turned into, like, pants for this figure. It's nothing really on the top side, because their own chitin kind of becomes an armor. Some of it's just become, like, a little scarf rag. This is a Rothian. Normally, these entities are part of sort of semi-hive mind associations out in the edges of the verse, often known as raiders and terrors on colonies for the edge of many of the nations. There are some that step away from the hive and pilot their own course, and you see one such Rothian here has found themselves behind the prison cells just like the rest of you, but rather strange to find one here. Probably has a story behind it.
Alright, so before we go out there and get that prisoner, we should deal with the giant robots. I do have a plan. Yeah, I have a sort of plan.
Do you think we should wait to release the prisoner until the robot's dealt with? He looks like he can kind of handle himself, though.
I'm just thinking about if we have them fight each other, it might cause a lot of noise and a lot of attention from the front of the ship.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it might be best to leave the fighting until the absolute last moment.
Okay.
In my experience, most robotic or technological items have some form of electrical circuit. And I just found this handy dandy, very highly electrical thing. And I'm thinking, if we can expose the circuit, I might be able to overload it a little bit.
That is a good thought.
I say on that hold call, Fallon, that normally we make checks to see if you can identify weaknesses in an enemy. No check needed. You've accurately identified one of the flaws in the M764. It has a higher chance for short-circuiting than other kind of combat drones. It's effectively why it was decommissioned for the M7, I think it's 8.3. So when this robot takes lightning damage, there is a chance it gets to make a save, but it's based off the damage dealt, and the more lightning damage you deal, the higher chance it short circuits and kind of gets stunned for a round.
Okay, so shock baton from. Do we all know each other's names? Like just from being around each other, or have we like?
I'd say you guys have probably heard because of the guards some of your names, and I'll say because of the rumors you might have picked up because of like it's when you guys were getting like put into the prison ship, like even before the journey, right? There was like holding, so you might have like caught names and a few rumors about
Okay.
each other.
Okay, so shock baton from Fallon, but Merritt, you also had an idea that we could run with as well. What was that?
Yes. So, perhaps there's a way for us to get on the military droid's whitelist. So, you know how they are set to only track the prisoners and attack the prisoners? What if we were able to get our information, like our biometrics or our prisoner files, and put that into the guard section of the droid's sensors? I don't know if that's possible. It was just an idea.
Can upon that being expressed, can Val kind of like think to the stuff that she's worked on before as like a mechanic? Like, is that something you can mess with, even though she's more from the tech side? Like people she's talked to with data, is that something she might have heard of before?
Yeah, I will say you can make a technology check if you'd like, or a data check. Data check is a little lower DC.
Do I take the lower DC at a +3, or do I take the technology at a +5? That's the question. Take the +5. I'm just rolling really well today.
So what you're right, it's like from a hardware perspective, but you've heard people, like you said, from a software data, like some of the integrations, the things with things like the crab claw is it's meant to not be so susceptible to updates and things like that could be intrusive or external, right? So a lot of it is really built in and more on the hardware side of things to limit that software vulnerabilities. And in fact, the way it's probably handling the whitelisting is through a source database somewhere, right? Like from the prison company side of things. So you would have to somehow get your biometrics, your information into that database to then have it periodically update with the crab claw. I will say on a 24 though, because you're like, okay, getting the biometrics into the source database, there's a lot of controls, a lot of difficulty there. But you do know, something Merritt said, it targets prisoners, right? You saw he was trying to go after all of you. It's making you can recognize it's making calculations about damage to property, capturing prisoners. What if instead of toning down, what if you toned up the variables? You think it might be hard to update the source database, but there are controls here, not only to open one prison cell, but you can open all of them.
Okay. I have an idea.
Val kind of just like smirks, says, "Yeah, I never really took you for much of a fighter. Run it by us. What's up?"
Okay. My second idea. Variation on the very. We open all the prisoner doors. We crank up the aggression. And we lower their standards for property damage.
And just have them smash through the ship? Or just fight all the prisoners. My bad.
If the prisoners start maybe making a few messes on the ship, the guards come in, try and shut it down, they take it out, then they have to deal with the prisoners and us. We could have a whole riot on our hands.
It could free a lot of people.
Well, that's also a lot of people that might be mad at me.
Well, that seems like a personal issue.
Okay, I thought we were a team or something, but
Is
I
it
like the
because
idea
of the
still.
money you stole?
I didn't. Where the fuck did you hear that from?
Oh, just around.
I didn't steal any money. That was not me that stole any money. I don't know who that was. It was honestly probably the captain. I was just a fucking mechanic, man. I just fix things.
Okay.
What?
Fallon's just dying laughing in the corner at this hole in her lip.
So, as you guys are looking over this, what I will call out, because I think Merritt and Val are having a conversation looking at some of the cell controls and kind of like the crab claw, like those monitors. Saskia and Fallon, you will note there are other monitors and cameras. I'm going to say go ahead, the two of you. Can you guys give me either investigation or insight checks? I'll say either one. Okay. 13 Saskia. And 9. Okay. So what I'll say for now, Fallon, you do see there's a camera for the bridge, and there's a couple of folks in that area, but they don't seem too alerted yet to what's going on. But you do also see cameras for the escape pods. The lifeline out of this situation. And so that's what you're noticing, Fallon, for now. Saskia, you see other details like monitors, like cameras that aren't currently on focus, but you can see the notations that these are cameras you can like click through if need be. But there are, in terms of additional rooms, there is engine rooms to the back of the ship, a armory, and a dark matter core as the 3 additional rooms. And you actually can see the directions. It's engine, armory, dark matter.
Okay. You know what? I think I have an idea. I think I can cast the first spell of this campaign, and I'm gonna grab my familiar. I'm gonna make it a cat, like a robotic cat. I'm gonna summon it, so we can like map out the routes to like primarily where the escape pods are, because that's where we're trying to go.
Mm-hmm.
And like map out this entire place, so we're not just seeing like disembodied cameras, we're seeing like routes.
Okay. So yeah, you effectively, your cat is transcribing and turning that view that you're seeing in cameras into the top-down view that we, mechanically speaking, can, above table see. So it's mapping that out. And you know what, I'll add, because of the cameras that you're rotating through, that it can map out and gives you insight into the other rooms as well, as you flip through those cameras.
Yes. Yep. So she'll send her cat out. She kind of does it like privately in a corner, but like basically like a hologram from like her bare skin appears, and like kind of like techno cords underneath her arm glow kind of like neon yellow, and summons this cat, like this nanite kind of 3D printed straight from the ground. And I guess she'll introduce it. This is Unit 3. It's going to help us make a map and get us out of here. And she'll send it out, and hopefully, because it's a cat, it can duck the crab claw thing. But while it's moving, because of the specifics of the Find Familiar spell, like, her eyes are, like, completely neon yellow, and her, like, perception, like, her sound and her hearing is linked to this cat. So she is, like, looking through this cat's eyes as it, like, travels through the ship.
Okay, I will actually note, you see something of note when you do that, Saskia, because of the camera mapping and the cat investigating, there is something you didn't notice before, a vent. Sort of maintenance tunnel, in a way, meant to kind of check through some of the internals of the ship, that opens here. But based off the cameras, you see a very similar looking vent down here. So,
Okay, she'll highlight her cat to go into the vent and hopefully try to find a way out of here.
yeah. And I'll say, because you guys now have 2 key cards, like Sasuke, you can take the one from the first guard that you guys knocked out, open the way to the engine room, and send the cat in to just pop out the other maintenance hatch and just kind of start peering around.
We'll do that.
Oh yeah, and that puts you in the engine room. Okay. Anything else that the rest of you guys are doing?
Does someone want to check out the armory?
I can go take a look at it if you wanted to. You seem more like capable with the control panel stuff here. So if there's anything else you want to look at here,
As you say that, you see her eyes just like sparkle. It's like, no, I'm good here. Yeah, it's fine. Just
do you want me to grab you anything? And then like kind of that's an open question to everyone too. She like makes that note. It's like anything from the armory, guys?
I'll come with you.
All right.
Saskia, you're in the engine room. Merritt, you're looking at the controls, and then Fallon and Val, you are in the armory. Now, I will say, you guys took out the immediate enemies, but there is a timer in the sense of the people at the bridge noticing something wrong with the crab claw.
Okay.
Sorry.
What's in the armory?
Yes. You keycard open the armory, and you see, making your way through. Yeah, no technology check needed. You guys just open up. The simple hallway looks a little bit more than a storage closet, but to you all, this might as well be a little slice of heaven. As you open up these tall kind of cabinets, don't have a tire per se in them. Not the standard kind. You see these sets and sets of nanofiber vests. There's even a few Environ suits. There's a couple, as you open another cabinet, you see sets of blasters of different kinds. And one that looks less like a blaster and more like a cannon. You pick up 3 sets of nanofiber vests, 2 sets of Environ suits, 3 phasers, 1 ion cannon.
Ooh.
And the phasers are like the same guns that you picked up from the guards. The ion cannon, you're like, oh shit. For context, anyone who has martial, I think it'd be, martial like range weapons, like if you have a longbow or anything like that, you can use the, oh sorry, even if you have simple range weapons, you can use the ion cannon. It's a very straightforward gun. It's 2-handed. It's a shotgun that shoots out ionized like plasma, so it's fire damage. And the way it works is it's got a range of 30 feet, but if you shoot it at half that range, so if you shoot at somebody 15 feet away, it goes from 2d6 damage to 2d8 damage. So it's very much close action weapon. And then the phasers are more like standard blasters. The nanofiber vests are the equivalent of a leather armor. So it's 11 plus dexterity with those. You have Environ suits, which are like hide armor. The problem is they take a little bit longer to patch on. So you're not quite sure if you have that kind of time, a couple minutes to put those on. But you can try. Like, if you have familiarity, you can make a check.
Is hide armor or light armor?
It's medium. Yeah.
Medium? Oh.
Mm-hmm. It's like 12 plus dex, so you can get up to like 14 armor with that.
So I have a very stupid question to ask. Without armor, your AC is just flat 10, right? You don't get the modifiers.
It's 10 plus dex. You still get to add dex to it.
And it's armor adds a cap to it, but not having armor takes away the cap.
If you put on the medium armor, you will be capped out at like only adding +2 from dex. So, but you're starting with 12, so it's 12 plus up to 2. So possibility of 4. But if you had, let's say, 5, like a +5 from dex, you would actually get like 15 armor just standing there, you know, just with nothing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
I see. With Val, you would be able to add con instead, by the way.
Yeah, that's why I'm trying to like judge. Like, I feel like my AC is kind of fine for level 3 right now. So I'm like, do I snag one of these or I just give it to everyone else? But yeah, whatever.
Yeah, I guess we just grab everything, and Val would holster one of the blasters as well.
One real quick thing I think about that we do need to make note of for Val. Technically, Val's AC is not 13, it's 11. Val gets to use con when in light armor or medium armor. But if you don't have either, it defaults to the dex.
Gotcha. Okay. Yeah, again, my AC was like blogging out at one point, so I kind of just did a automatic override.
No, you're good. I mean, you can keep the con boost because it will translate to that for everything else. But the idea is, like, we'll say for now, like, it's technically a little lower, so it could be good to put on hide armor. Or even nanofiber. That's still pretty good. But yeah. So you guys get the armor, you get the guns. Skia, you're kind of seeing you have your familiar now in the upper parts of the ship, should you need it. And then Merritt, you're in the control room. Anything else you're looking for before you guys kind of reconvene with the weapons you found?
Does my...
Mhm.
Oh, sorry.
You go
Does my
first.
cat see anything?
Your familiar sees the crab claw station there, and it's actually pacing back. At this point, you now know it's at the center, facing ahead at the hull. So you know it's looking this way. Do you want to have your... I mean, it doesn't notice your familiar because it's, like, small and not a prisoner. So you could just keep your familiar around in case you wanted to, like, give advantage or be a distraction later on. But for now, yeah, you can see your familiars here. You know, depending on timing, you could use it as a distraction later on. But is there anything in specific you want the familiar looking for?
The escape pods. So I'm trying to, like, make it venture into parts of the prison that we haven't seen yet.
Yep.
Maybe going through maintenance shafts or vents or something like that.
Yep.
So we can have, like, a clear direction of where to go, so we're not wasting time, like, meandering around useless areas.
Oh yeah, you know, I think everything should be unveiled on the map. But you guys know these are the escape pods, these 2 chambers.
Okay.
You are able to
All right.
point those out, so you can always pick one. One escape pod would be enough. A little tight, but it could get you 4 and that, you know, the prisoner you've been told to also break free.
All right. Once everyone gets back together, she'll definitely communicate where the escape pods are. One or the other, whatever's closer to you, just pick that one and run in. And then she'll have her familiar meander around this general area, around the crab claw, ready to give advantage when we inevitably have to face this thing.
Just kind of a little metal cat hiding in like a vent above the prison kind of hall.
It's very cute. I'll say that.
Cute robot cat. Fallon and Val, you've grabbed the nanofiber vests, some of the Environ suits, and brought over the phasers and ion cannon. Are you guys checking out the engines or dark matter core? Are you good?
I would like to see the engine rooms. Just like a little quick peek, see if there's anything interesting.
You give a little quick peek into the engine room. Go ahead and I guess it is engines or engine rooms, multiple. But yeah, there's 2 sets. Go ahead and give me a technology check as you take a look back there. They're not
Can,
bad engines.
Can Val provide like advantage on that?
Yeah.
Or also do her own check?
Val can totally give advantage on this, as you're both looking at like the different technological components. Yeah, Val's proficient too, so yeah, totally good.
Actually, I totally lied. I'm so sorry. I have a +5. Can I just make my own roll too?
Yeah, you can. You're like about to help Val, and you're like, no, I see something. On a 24, you pick up, there's controls here. So there's dark matter cores, which is this room. That's what powers the void jump. That's that whole like, folding of space, that whole like incredible like it's built off interplanar and teleportation magic, but you almost turned into technology and brought to such an advanced pace. That's what allows for these like incredible leaps. Very sensitive stuff. Usually don't want to touch it. Makes sense why you guys skip that and go to the engine. Engine room is more about the application of that power and also some of the more practical components. So when you think about like real space and when you're traveling through the normal void, that's what you're using is the normal engines. Dark matter core is only when you're going, through into the void and coming back. Into the warp space and then coming back. But, no, I think it's void space. But the point is, you have the engines. What you do see on the 24, you see enough of the connections, and you can kind of read the engines, where you could choose to shut down some of the connections between the engines and the bridge. And in a way, cut off the guards from being able to do anything with the ship, like initiate a void jump, or do any sort of maneuver. Like, anything that would be more problematic for you all who are not in the bridge, you could disconnect the engine controls.
Was there a way to cut off like power supply? Because up in here, if I'm looking up at the main sort of piloting room and the two sort of escape pods off the sides, is there a way to like shut off power or connection to that door right there where those 3 guards are at?
Ooh, okay, so normally you think like even emergency protocol on the control panel is not a power shutoff, right? Like normally all that means is, in fact, that would probably heighten the security around the bridge and maybe even make it manual. But Fallon, you're aware, you've done your research on ships. If you make a void jump, that is when the ship usually reduces its power expenditure to maximum to be efficient while it's void jumping, right? It kind of turns down the rest of the systems. It's usually why people will like go into cryogenic sleep or just like chill out for a sec. But especially a ship like this that's keeping costs as close to the margin as it can, it will probably just cut systems. You could try a override that doesn't just take some of the power out, it just takes all the power out and puts it all into the engines.
So like override and kind of like force start a void jump?
Yeah, it would be like along the lines of like the void jump preparations and you overriding the power control so that everything goes into that void jump and all the other electronic systems turn off. Or at least like, hit critical.
I want to find Merritt and Saskia and see if they think it'd be beneficial to maybe try initiating that right when we sort of do the big prison break with all the prisoners being released at once. If that would maybe buy us extra time.
Got it. So yeah, you guys are like reconvening, you share this idea. What I will say, I'll say, Val, you can keep your technology check, because it was about the engines. But if everyone else wants to make technology checks in response to Fallon's idea. From a character perspective, in case there's any other details you guys pick up on.
What was Fallon's idea? I'm sorry, I had to go to the bathroom.
No worries. It's doing an overrided void jump and forcing all the power systems to redirect to the void engine or the dark matter core. So that effectively means all the other non-critical systems, like the door controls, all that stuff, would go manual. It would no longer be like code-based or electrical, which could make getting through doors way easier, because it would just be like not even like a Hulk like open the door situation like Val had to do. It would just be like push it open like that.
If we void jump, though, would that put us out of range of our mysterious benefactor?
That's what I was thinking.
Because they only contacted us once we got into, like, this area.
Very true.
I'll temporarily disconnect from the familiar, and like I'll try to ask, like, because we talked to him on the intercom once, right?
Mhm.
So I'll maybe try to like pitch this idea to our mysterious contractor and say like, hey, if we void jump, will the escape pods still take us to your location or nah?
Unfortunately, void jumping would put you out of our immediate pickup range. I would be careful in how far you travel. I fortunately cannot guarantee your safety should you leave our immediate vicinity.
Okay, I would definitely say no void jumping then.
Now,
We can still cut off power.
from that point of view, as you say that, Merit, Val, you still have that 24 in the technology check. The power systems start the rerouting before the void jump actually happens. It's a preparation sequence. So, theoretically, there is a window between when you initiate that override and when the void jump happens. It's a tight window, and you'd be putting yourselves on the clock, but in that time, power systems would be down past critical. Escape pods have their own engine generator. That's the whole point of escape pods, so they won't be affected. But the point is the rest of the ship will go past critical levels, and you'll have, from your perspective, it's not a lot of time. It might literally just be like 20 to 30 seconds from the point of initiation to getting into and launching the escape pods.
Yeah,
It's too risky.
yeah, that's a really great idea, but it is like I don't think we could clear all that space at the same time.
Could we set it
and-
on a delay?
We could.
Have it delayed by a minute or so, and have us get into place, and then once the power shuts, we run to the escape pods.
Yeah. Could Val kind of, in addition to like my technology check, could I also use my vent tape and elbow grease to kind of like theorize an idea to put that power thing on a delay?
Yeah, I'll say you rolled pretty high on technology. You could try this. Yeah, you could use ventilate. You know the standard might be something like 24 seconds. You're trying to add as much time as you can on top.
Yeah, kind of add like a redstone repeater, but it's the one that makes it take longer instead of it faster.
Yeah. So what I'll say to that is, you can make a check here if you want to go with technology or piloting. I'll say either works. DC 10 is the minimum to not make it worse. But everything above, so 10 to 15 gives you 6 extra seconds. 15 to 20 gives you another, so now you're at 12 extra seconds. 20 to 25, 18 extra seconds, kind of like that.
And this was what check again?
You can do technology or piloting.
Okay.
Can I give advantage with a technology check?
Yes, I will say you guys can.
Thank God. It's really scary. 22 advantage.
22 with advantage. That's gonna push us up from, what did I say? So 10 to 15 would be 6, 15 to 20, another 6, and then now 20 to 25, another 6. So 18 seconds. So you are up to, we'll say, about 40 seconds. We'll round it up a little bit. That is 7 full rounds before the ship would void jump.
That's
We can manage
doable.
that. That's very
That's
doable.
doable.
Yeah.
Just don't get bogged down fighting. You
Re-
run.
Real quick, as you guys are discussing this, super sorry, my computer did just freak out while we were talking about hacking the engine, so I think that's really funny. But my mouse is no longer showing up on the screen, and
no.
neither is a bunch of stuff. So I'm gonna really quickly restart. So sorry. If you guys want, you can go ahead and take like a quick bio break if needed. I'll try and be back ASAP. Not sure why that just happened.
It happens.
I'll be
to the
back
best
very
of
quick
us.
too.
Yes.
Okay.
BRB.